Hello guys, LazyBeast here with an updated guide for my UI going into Shadowlands, and this is going to be how you can get this UI for yourself. And I've also got some essential add-ons to recommend for when you start your experience in Shadowlands. So let's jump into it. So first of all, what we're going to do is go over the ElvUI profile. Now, I've had a lot of questions about an updated ElvUI import string, which is going to be in this video. It's going to be in the description down below, as well as the names of the add-ons that I mentioned in this video. So as with the last UI guide, what I'll do is aim to keep this link updated throughout Shadowlands, so it's always up to date, bang up to date, and it should always work. If you do have any problems with it, then do message me in the comments and I'll help you out. So the UI, as you can see, is looking pretty similar to last time. I've made some tweaks just to neaten a few areas up that were a bit skew with, you know, like the data bars. They're all still mouse over, so you can just see them, but I've made them nice and neat and aligned, and a little bit thicker, you know, so you can just access them easier. Things like the micro bar have moved down to the bottom, and I've also tweaked some of the unit frames to be in just better places overall. So to get this UI, it's really simple. Basically, once you've got ElvUI installed, you go into the ElvUI settings, you go into profiles, and import on the top right, and it'll open a big blank box. Paste the big long UI string into there and click on import now, and then it will adjust everything accordingly once you press OK. If you are unsure on how to install add-ons and update your add-ons and look after them all, I have recently done a video on that, so I'll link that in the description below and that'll help you out. So that's basically ElvUI. That is the complete UI replacement for the Blizzard UI, and if you like the look of it, there you go, that's how you can get it. So on to the other add-ons that I think are essential for Shadowlands. So the Nameplate add-on is Threat Plates. That's the one that I use. I just think there's a lot of similar ones out there. Threat Plates is the one that I've used for a while. I did used to use Tidy Plates, but I think that stopped being supported, stopped being updated. So Threat Plates is the one that I use now. Servers, you know, dots come on there, it's just clean, it looks nice, there's not a lot to say about it really, it's just a good Nameplate add-on. The next big thing is, if you're not using this, you really should use this, is weak auras. Now, weak auras is a funny add-on because you just install it and nothing happens, so what you need to do is get weak aura import strings from somewhere, or learn how to make weak auras yourself, which can be quite tricky, but there's guides out there on how to do that. The easiest thing to do is, and again I've done a video on this, so I'll link that also in the description below, of where to find weak auras and, you know, which ones I use. So basically, weak auras can be customized however you want them to be. They can pop up when the spell goes on cooldown, they can show you how many stacks of a buff you've got, things like that. Now, the easiest thing to do is, say you play a Warlock, for example, go and check out someone like Kalamazi, who is a really good Warlock player. Gives a lot of feedback on Warlocks and stuff, and he makes his own weak auras, and he makes them available if you go and follow his Twitch. You can get them for free. So there's things like that. So anybody, whatever class you play, look out one of your favourite YouTubers or one of your favourite streamers, and they'll likely have built their own UI package that you can get from them with all of their weak auras available. You can also just go on WoW, this website that basically is a collection, like a library of weak auras, and search for example, Demonology Warlock weak auras, and you will find some there. But again, more on that guide in the other video that I'll link in the description. With any of my weak auras, I do set them just to load in combat, because it can be quite annoying if they're just in the way all the time. If you're just, you know, running around town, or you're using the auction house and your weak auras are just there in your face. So I'll set them to load only in combat. That's another little tip I can give you there. So the next one that I use and really enjoy is Immersion. Now this basically replaces the default interface frame, so when you're interacting with an NPC, you know, the quest log, the dialogue text and all that sort of stuff. It goes very well with ElvUI, it looks nice and clean. And a good thing about this is, when you're accepting quests and things, you can just press spacebar to skip the dialogue. And it's pretty quick, you know, if you're going out getting dailies or whatever, you can have auto turning, and obviously that'll do it for you. But for anything else like dialogue and stuff, you can just spam the spacebar and then off you go. The bag add-on that I use is called ADDONS. Now, you could just use the default ElvUI bags. I'm not a massive fan of these, I do have to say. ADDONS I feel is just a bit better. It's easy to see where things are, potentially easy to organise things. If you spent some time customising the ElvUI one, you could get it to look how you wanted to, and, you know, act the way you want it to act, but I just find ADDONS works better just basically straight out of the box. For anybody that does any dungeons or raids, you obviously have to have either deadly boss mods or bigwigs. I always go with deadly boss mods, or DBM as it's more commonly known. I just find it suits me better. Bigwigs has some like noises and alerts and stuff that I'm not a big fan of, so deadly boss mods is the one for me. Now the damage meter that I use is called Details Damage Meter. The current version for Shadowlands, which you want to go and download, is called Details Damage Meter Shadowlands, which is pretty self-explanatory. That's the one that works currently, you know, on the pre-patch, the beta, and all that sort of stuff, so that's the one you want to go and get. Now this one is definitely an essential add-on for Shadowlands. Now this is Handy Notes. Now there's Handy Notes, I mentioned in my pre-patch event guide, there's Handy Notes Scourging version of Shadowlands. Now with Handy Notes you've got to bear in mind that there's the Handy Notes base, like core of the add-on package, and then what you need to do is get the different Handy Notes add-ons for the specific content that you want to do. So you download Handy Notes, that's fine, and then you have to download Handy Notes Shadowlands. If you're, say, leveling a character back, or you want to go back and do like Nazjatar or something, you need to download Handy Notes Nazjatar and Mechagon, and that'll give you the stuff for there. It basically adds things on the map, very useful markers, sort of tooltips that'll tell you like what a rare boss drops. If it's got a weird spawn path, it'll show you where it can spawn potentially, and it's just lots of useful information. So go into Shadowlands. You may not want to use this the first time, because you have things on there like treasures, so you may want to just go through and like figure where they are yourself, but if you just want to get everything done pretty efficiently and quick, then this will put that all on there for you. It's a very, very good add-on, and I highly recommend it. Now this other add-on, it isn't essential, but if you want your UI to stay nice and clean and tidy, and you don't want your minimap to be a mess, it is essential. This is MBB. Now this basically condenses all your minimap buttons into one button. I don't know why I didn't discover this sooner. I'm really glad that I did, because it just makes things nice and clean. Now you can have loads of buttons on there, and yeah, it just tidies up the minimap with all them silly buttons that you get, especially if you're going to have add-ons like Handy Notes, and if you've got like Gatherer and all that sort of stuff on there, your minimap can get a bit clustered. So yeah, MBB is the way to go. Now I've only mentioned a few add-ons there, and that's basically the core of what I use for my UI, but I do have 90 add-ons installed, so if you do have any questions about anything else that you've seen in any of my other videos, any add-ons that have popped up and you wonder what they are, I will definitely answer that in the comments for you. So do just ask any questions. If you're having any trouble with the ElvUI import string, again, ask me in the comments and I'll try and fix it for you. But it will be available, and I will keep it up to date over the course of Shadowlands. So there we go, guys. That is my guide to my UI. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more Shadowlands content and guides as we go through. There's going to be lots coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been LazyBeast. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.